Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with my first impressions on the HD plugin feature. Going to be really fun to take a look at. I also want to talk about kind of how we got here and why it means so much to me and the community and why it's just so exciting to see and why this is such a big deal. So obviously, you know, HD is cool and whatnot. Just before we get into it, I will say personally, I probably won't even be playing in HD. Like, I do enjoy these graphics. This is kind of why I play the game, is because it looks this way. I'm gonna have to put in my bank pin here in a second, but you know, here and there, it'll be nice. It's nice for some footage. It's nice for the option. And I think that that's really what it's all about. You know, on a client where we already have the option to do basically everything, you know, why do we not have that option? And so we can finally dive into that option. So going on over now, I'm in the plugin hub. Let's take a look here. So if I type in HD, there it is, 117 HD beta. We shall see how this goes. So it's being downloaded. Go into the setting. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently it's already on. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is, I mean, it looks really nice. I will say I'm very like almost nightmare fuely. I mean, looking a little weird. Let me see. Maybe I'll mess around with the settings a little bit. So we'll go around and give a peek at everything. I mean, as far as the GE looks really good. I like those fires, really good illumination there. I've seen pictures of other people's houses and oh my, I mean, honestly looks really good. Like I mean, just the blue around that portal, so vibrant, the red as well. The grass obviously looks, you know, a little bit different, pretty intriguing. I'm definitely happy with a little bit more texture, and I mean, this area as well, like, oh my, I mean, you know, I could just gush about it, I guess, as long as I continue to make this video and we could just get into all of it. I mean, the lighting features is honestly what I'm most excited for. I think the saturation and kind of the lighting as well is basically the biggest improvement for me. I mean, just look at, like, oh my, okay, so I actually need to go on over to the Tazar area because I'm excited to see what that's about. Oh my, that teleport animation was really nice too, and this is this is what I was waiting for. Like, I mean, oh my, if you wanted a lighting area that just makes this all worthwhile, I mean, goodness. All right, let me throw on this little plugin real quick. Throw on a little detached camera, and then we can kind of zoom around in here. But oh my god, like, look at that, just so good, so good. I mean, like, this is kind of what I'm talking about. As far as footage goes and just background stuff for my videos, I think this is going to be amazing. So personally, I'm a little bit excited. As I did mention before, you know, as far as playing the game goes, there is an extent to it that I'd like to keep it the same. So sure, I'll probably play with the HD features here and there, especially when it first comes out, because, you know, I want to see what it's all about. I want to, you know, be surprised, be shocked, and obviously that's the case right now. So, I mean, overall, I'm very happy that Jagex decided to go back on this decision. It just made a lot of sense to go back on it. It didn't really make much sense in the first place to go ahead and just absolutely destroy someone's work, especially when you look around. I mean, this looks amazing. Like, you know, and there's so many other RuneLite plugins that are honestly detrimental to the game, in my opinion. I've always harped on the Clue Scroll plugin and the Quest Helper plugin because I think they're honestly pretty disgusting. If you showed those plugins to anyone that's ever played the game during any other era, they'd basically tell you you're cheating, and I agree. And so when you have, in my opinion, cheats in the game, and then you just are going to take out HD with full force, it doesn't make much sense to me. You gotta throw on roofs here for this. Yeah, there we go. Get a full view of what's going on out here. Gonna definitely take a good lap around the Current area because honestly, this is my favorite area in old school RuneScape. You know, newer design to it, so I think it looks the best overall, and I'm excited to see what it looks like with this new plugin. So, gonna be moving on around here, but I mean, stuff like this just shows me how tight-knit the old school RuneScape community is and how much power we truly have in the game. Obviously, you know, Jagex makes the game with polls and sort of a lot of things that can kind of guide us and help us feel a part of the game. But at the end of the day, you know, there's still a company that wants to make their own decisions. And of course, they have that power and they have that say to do so. And I can't hate on them for doing it. If they wanted to take away RuneLite HD, like I said before, I would have been for it. I think that makes sense. You know, if you're planning on releasing something and someone else comes by and makes it for you, you know, it can feel like they're stepping in on your territory. It can feel like your work might be for nothing, and it feels like you have less control, and I understand that. But when Jagex doesn't put any effort out there in showing us or telling us that they're going to actually make this a thing, and rather they wait for someone to get done with a year and a half or 2 years of making a game look like this, just for them to cut them off there at the end, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, and it was a really bad look. So I'm glad that they went back on it as quick as they did, and I'm also glad that we have a community that cares so much about the game and wants to see it succeed in many different ways, and they want their voices heard. And, you know, there was the World 302 riots. You always love to see them. Just so good, so good. I mean, you know, I went by there and I hung out for a little bit, and it's just, it's so nice to just see the community out and caring and showing their support for things that they enjoy about the game. And, you know, that's something that maybe it takes dark times like this for us to have to then reconvene and regather our thoughts and, you know, actually show that we care this much about the game and show what it means to us. But, you know, through that we build and we get stronger, and, you know, it also emboldens us even more, I think, going forward to, you know, use that voice. And it's a great reminder of the power that players have in these games and people have in the world. You know, everyone kind of goes around and thinks that by themselves they can't make change, but that's the thing, collectively you can. And of course, you know, this is a small scale thing. It's RuneScape, it's graphic updates, it's silly stuff in relation to what I'm talking about, but it holds true. And, you know, you see that from time to time in different situations, and to see it play through here is obviously one that I find a lot of joy in, and it really helps me feel, you know, much more in touch with the rest of the community, and as if we're all on the same journey together here in old school RuneScape. Even though we're all on our own Iron Man accounts doing our own different things, maybe we're building really niche hardcores that don't interact with the game that much, or whatever it is. I mean, again, just look at this area, like, so good. I'm not sure, I mean, there are going to be setting changes, and if I find out a really good list of settings, maybe I could create like a small short YouTube video on that and kind of displaying it. But from what I'm seeing so far, even with the default settings, like, this is just amazing. This looks so good. And, you know, there's people that this will change whether or not they play the game, and I think that that's an amazing thing. You know, there's people in my life that have asked me, like, you know, why does old school RuneScape keep the same graphics? And obviously, you know, it makes sense as to why we do, but at the same time, when you're trying to evolve as a game and, you know, at least appeal a little bit to maybe a returning player base. Of course, people love playing the old games, but even old games, you know, I mean, look at any old game that used to be played on arcade machines or what, you know, they all get upgrades, they all get revamps, and then you have the option to do as you please, which is now what we have, and that's amazing. I know people can say, well, if you want updated graphics, you should go to RS3. But there's a lot more that goes into that than just that, and I'm sure they know that. So it's not that easy. It's not a one-to-one swap. You can't simply just say, if you wanted HD graphics, you should play RS3, because we know that certainly isn't true. That game is far beyond where we are at. I think this update really shows the importance of building out the game in a sense other than just churning and burning content. I know that the player base always clamors for more content, and they want more of a certain thing, or more of a skill, or more PVM bosses, or whatever. I mean, you know, insert whatever you'd like here, but typically people are thinking in their own interests whenever they do that, you know? I never see people clamoring for PK updates other than PKers, and that's why I clamor for PK updates. I'm not even a PKer, but I understand that they have no voice here in this game, and that, you know, they just kind of get brushed to the wayside. And I feel like graphics were the same way, and there's a lot of things in this game that kind of just get pushed off because, you know, no one cares about it at the moment. But at the end of the day, old school RuneScape's a game that's been out for a while. It'll be out for a while, so what's the rush? What are we trying to do here? And that's kind of the thing for me. There's so many things to do in the game that the idea that we have to constantly get, like, you know, Raids 3's coming out. Oh boy, what's next? Raids 4, Raids 5, Raids 6. No, I mean, you know, there's plenty of ways you can go about the game, plenty of other things you can build out and start to allow people to enjoy themselves more. Whether that be PKing, some new mini games, different skills, potentially in the future. I know warding didn't pass, but I think if Jagex came up with a nice, organic, and new idea for a skill, I think they'd definitely be able to pass it. they've done a really good job with stuff like skilling mini games and other things like that. I think that bringing the community together through mini games and activities like that is way more empowering than trying to branch everyone off into different Iron Men where they just don't interact with each other. And so I guess that's the one route I would like to see the game go a little bit more, trying to bring people together more so than isolate them. At this point, we have enough isolation game modes. I think that that is more than enough, and now we should work on bringing it back together in a sense. And Lovaken just looks amazing too, like, oh my gosh, I just can't get over the lighting and just the different colors, you know, just so much more vibrant. And really enjoying the opportunity just to be able to even see this happen. And it's all thanks to you guys, all of the people that were out there clamoring in full force to be able to see the hard work and dedication that someone put into something like this. And it just reassures me ever more that even if sometimes Jagex doesn't make the right decision, at the end of the day, the community will be here. And if that decision is one that enough people feel against, then we have that power, we have that say, and we have that duty to go out and make that change. So that's going to be it as far as this little review and thoughts about the HT being released. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you think about this update as far as the graphics are concerned or Jagex's role in it, would love to hear it down below in a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe. Also, I'll be streaming some hardcore Iron Man gains over on Twitch as soon as this goes live, so feel free to check that out down below. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.